Behind me, just one of so many examples of utter destruction across Los Angeles. There was a fire put out here right before we came on air. Fire trucks actually just going by now. We've been seeing a few of them over the past few minutes. It comes as Governor Gavin Newsom just called for an independent investigation into why fire hydrants were dry, saying in part, I quote him, "We need answers to ensure this does not happen again, and we have every resource available to fight these catastrophic fires." Well, Newsom and other officials are now facing growing questions. Right now, it's questions, and they're getting loud about what could have been done to minimize the death and destruction, or whether this is just simply the way it's going to be to live here. Nick Watt is out front.
Did it really have to be this bad? No one was caught unawares here. Strong Santa Ana winds were forecast, and after months without significant rain, bone-dry vegetation was obviously primed to burn. Number one, were there enough boots on the ground to fight the flames? Easy answer, no.
We don't have enough fire personnel in LA County between all of the departments to handle this.
In a memo 2 years ago, LA City's Fire Chief Kristen Crowley said more staff were needed, with increased risk due to climate change and increased construction in danger zones. Just last month, Chief Crowley told Mayor Karen Bass that eliminating some civilian positions and cutting $7 million from firefighters' overtime severely limited the department's capacity to prepare for, train for, and respond to large-scale emergencies. Clearing brush, which is basically fuel, is crucial and mandatory. Chief Crowley says budget cuts mean they couldn't inspect to make sure the clearing was actually happening.
There were no reductions that were made that would have impacted the situation that we were dealing with over the last couple of days.
Number two, was there enough water to fight the flames? Again, easy answer, no.
Multiple homes threatened. I need about 2 or 3 water tenders, and there were some engines. We got dry hydrants.
3 huge water tanks help boost pressure in the hydrants around here, but
we were not able to fill the tanks fast enough
because demand was overwhelming, and the Palisades is at the end of the city water system with narrower pipes with reduced flow. Some hydrants ran dry at absolutely critical moments, like 3 a.m. Wednesday.
We've lost most of the hydrant pressure.
Why was there no water in the hydrants, Governor?
All literally.
Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be.
But experts tell CNN there's not a city water system in the world that could have flawlessly handled this.
Now that we're in the 21st century, I think we have a new climate and we need to rethink our infrastructure.
Number 3, are building codes to blame? Yes and no. Anything built after 2008 is subject to some of the strictest fireproofing codes in the country, but only about 5% of structures around here were built after 2010, according to CAL FIRE. And those codes generally do not require retrofitting. So the new mall in Palisades Village is okay, and the 100-year-old mall just across the road is gone. And acres of devastation with the odd new build home still standing. Number 4, power line problems. 6 years ago, the devastating Woolsey fire just east of here was lit, like many wildfires, by sparks from above-ground power lines in a Santa Ana wind.
You could have 80-mile-an-hour winds, but if there's no spark, there's no fire.
We don't know what ignited this week's fires, but according to Whisker Labs, there were multiple power line faults and sparks around the Palisades, Eaton, and Hearst fires in the hours before they broke out. If power lines are below ground, they cannot start fires. The town of Paradise, destroyed in 2018 by fire, right now rebuilding with the power lines underground. Now, this was, as some officials say, a perfect storm. The high winds meant they couldn't fight this fire from the air for those first crucial hours, and in terrain like this, without air assets, you've a hand tied behind your back.
Rest assured, we will absolutely do an evaluation to look at what worked, what didn't work, and to correct or to hold accountable any body, department, individual, etc.
And air here, obviously you and I were just saying right now, is particularly noxious and toxic. There is a lot of finger pointing, and it seems that more and more of it's pointing at elected officials and decisions that were made on budgets.
Sure. I mean, so Chief Crowley came out today and she is pulling no punches. The fire department chief here in LA. She said she's a public servant, not a politician. Her job is to make sure that her people have the equipment they need to fight fires, and she says they don't. 2010 till now, she says they're dealing with 50% more calls, but with fewer firefighters. They need 62 more fire stations, she said. She said this past week they had 100 pieces of equipment in the shop because they don't have enough mechanics. So she is saying absolutely budget cuts got in the way of their ability to fight this fire. But here's the other thing she said. Even with 100 more engines, Erin, she said that they weren't going to be catching this fire.
No.
This was just getting away from them.
And,
Whatever.
And as you said, they will come up with what they say started it. Maybe it was arson in some cases, but there were also those sparking pyro lines, and that very well could have been it. And that is, that there's nothing they could have done about that, except for ages ago when they could have made different decisions.
How many billions of dollars did this cost? How many billions of dollars would it cost to put the power lines underground? I don't know.
I want to check in with our Nick Watt, who has been working, tirelessly since this fire started. Nick, what's the latest where you are?
Well, Anderson, what we've been doing today is hearing from a lot of people who are very angry about what happened. As the initial shock has subsided, people are asking questions. Could more have been done? Caitlin was mentioning up at the top of the show there, this issue with the fire chief here in LA saying that she didn't have the resources. She doesn't have the budget to do what she has to do, she says, as a fire chief, as a public servant, which is to make sure that her people have what they need to do their jobs. Now, the investigations, the recriminations are going to continue for some time. Governor Gavin Newsom wants to know why the water stopped in the hydrants here in the Palisades. He's also asked for President Trump to come and visit. Unclear if political posturing on either side, because Trump, of course, blamed this all on Governor Newsom and said Newsom should resign. Unclear if that political posturing is actually helpful to anyone at this point, but that's not for me to say. The other issue that I'm kind of obsessed with at the moment are the power cables. Now, we know that power cables spark a lot of wildfires. They sparked the Woolsey fire just down the road from here in 2018. They sparked that fire that destroyed the town of Paradise up in Northern California. Paradise right now, by the way, is rebuilding, and the mayor tells CNN that they are rebuilding with the power cables under the ground so they can't spark wildfires. Now, we don't know what sparked these fires here yet. We don't. There's talk of arson, but as I say, it is often power cables. So should those power cables perhaps be put under the ground? That's also a question that people are going to have to answer. A lot of people I've spoken to today, experts in the field, say what these fires should do is they should be a wake-up call. We cannot act like we're still in the 20th century. The climate has changed. We need to rethink how we build our cities and how we protect ourselves. Chief Crowley is saying that these days you need a lot more firefighters. She's saying that, between 2010 and now, the fire department in LA is dealing with 50% more calls, but with fewer firefighters. So, a lot of questions, not enough answers. They could take time. Anderson.
Yeah, Nick Watt, I appreciate it. Caitlin, it is remarkable what the fire chief said to Jake Tapper on CNN earlier today, directly contradicting what Mayor Bass had said. Mayor Bass had said when she returned from her trip to Ghana and gave a press conference, she said that the budget cuts to the fire department in Los Angeles did not affect their ability to fight this fire. The chief of the fire department contradicted her directly and said it did. And here's how. So remains to be seen what is going to happen there. But that's one thing to watch in the days ahead, Caitlin.
Yeah, and that's something that we were talking about tonight, Anderson, as we were looking at the comments by Chief Crowley is, yes, the mayor is contradicting her, and here's the mayor outlining what's in the budget and what they did differently with pay raises and where these cuts were. But, it's the chief herself who is saying this, who is just being straightforward and candid, frankly, about what her firefighters have been dealing with and what she says are the cuts. I mean, it's straight from her mouth. Anderson Cooper, thank you for that. We'll check back in with you on the ground.